everybody, it is ToyGaBear58 here, and I would like to say welcome to the next honeypot of fame. This one is for the channel, the Show Unbeatable. I've been talking with the guy Kaz, or Carl, sorry, not Kaz, Carl. It's been a hectic one. But yeah, I've been talking with Carl for a while, and he's a really awesome guy, and the interview was just phenomenal. I would like to just let you guys know to please stay tuned for after the video for a special message about something relating to his channel and to charity. Alright, please stay tuned, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm really mad, but there will be no face cam. I've tried fixing my audio a little bit. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. I hope you guys enjoy. And please go check out his channel. I put a link down in the description below. Please give him some likes, give him some views. He is phenomenal. He is gonna be like the next YouTube night show, like late night YouTube show, which is gonna be phenomenal. So I really hope you guys enjoy, and please stay tuned for after the video. Oodles. Well, hello everybody, this is ToyGaBear58 here, and we are back with the Honeypot Hall of Fame, and this week, we happen to have, and I have a brain fart. I was gonna leave a note for your name right at the top of my list, but I completely and totally forgot, so,
Fantastic start.
That is actually my first question is, can you tell everybody a bit about yourself?
Sure.
Who you are.
Of course. My name is Carl Puzon, and I am the producer and host of the Show Unbeatable.
Yes. I actually just got done rewatching the first episode about Johnny Martinez.
Oh, awesome!
that was actually a lot of fun to watch.
It was a lot of fun.
I was pretty young when that came out.
It was a lot of fun to make, too. I know Johnny as a friend, and I just discovered the story about him out of nowhere, so I was super stoked to just do a video about it.
Wow, that's awesome. When did you actually become interested in wanting to start the whole YouTube scene and being out in front of the camera and everything like that?
Well, okay, so this is kind of a long-winded story about myself, but I actually used to be a software engineer, and I moved down. After 4 years of doing that, I got a little burned out, wanted to try new stuff, so I moved down. That was up in San Francisco. And also, while I was a software engineer, I used to do stand-up comedy on the side. So I decided to move down to LA. I've been meaning to move to LA for forever. I love this city, and I decided to take a year off, kind of just do my own thing, and that thing was originally stand-up comedy. And for 2 months I was doing that, and I was having a blast. I love the scene down here. It's so much fun. But one night I got to thinking, I got a little stoned and got to thinking, like, you know, what would be the coolest thing to come out of this year? And since I was high, I was like, yo, wouldn't it be cool if I was the first ever Asian American late night show late night show host? And I got even more stoned and thought to myself, like, yo, why don't we make our own show? And I remember I wrote it down. I have a chalkboard I have in my kitchen, and I wrote it down there. And the next day I woke up and, like, I looked at my chalkboard and I'm like, hi Carl, you are onto something here.
Dude, that's awesome, and that's great about LA. I mean, I've always wanted to go, I've always wanted to take my wife, but that actually leads me to another question that I don't have listed. Are there a lot of earthquakes like people say, or have you not had a chance to experience one yet?
You know what? I've been here for 6 months, and I've noticed earthquakes not because I felt them, but because I saw a tweet about it. I haven't personally felt it myself.
Okay, and then do you live in the city, or do you live on the outskirts of the city?
Oh, I live right in the city. I live over at Koreatown.
Okay. Do you take a lot of Ubers, or do you actually have your own vehicle that you get around? Because I heard traffic can be really bad.
So one of the fun things about being on mini retirement is that I don't have to travel during rush hour. And no, I actually don't have a car yet. I told myself I would get a car the moment like I got cabin fever, and so far since like the public transportation in LA is actually not that bad. It's actually I find it a lot better than San Francisco. So I've just been taking the subway, I've been taking buses, and yeah, if it's a little far, I want to get somewhere quicker, I take Uber, and it's great because LA has the cheapest Uber rates in the entire country, if I'm not mistaken.
Huh. Yeah, I think I've probably only done the Lyft. I don't think I've had a chance to experience an Uber where I'm at. We have Lyft, but that's pretty decent too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I take Lyft too. It depends on like who's giving me the better prices.
Right. But that encouraged you to become who you are today. Like, anybody inspire you to rise above yourself or anything like that?
So, stand-up comedy-wise, of course I looked up to a lot of people, but it was really the recent wave of comedians who came out guns a-blazing with all the observational stuff. Like Hannibal Buress is one of my favorite stand-up comedians of all time. John Mulaney. And like Mark Norman. Mark Norman's actually my favorite stand-up comedian ever. He's like this New York-based comedian. He's done work for like the Amy Schumer show and a bunch of other stuff. And that's what it's their comedy that got me kind of thinking like, hey, maybe I could do this. So that's how it's kind of like following them and listening to them and really studying how they do stuff that got me into comedy. But with regards to doing the show, I'd say it's a combination. I mean, I grew up with late night. I grew up with Letterman. I grew up with Leno. I grew up with Conan. And these are just like, it's just something me and my mom used to do, just like watch late night shows. And it was great. Like, I really loved it. I loved the bits. And I guess, yeah, to do the show, yeah, they're my main inspirations for the show. And I guess, you know what, a part of it is also like, that's of course like, how it was formed, but I think the crux of the show was actually inspired by Ira Glass. Like, I love the guy. This American Life. I mean, if you really break down how the show Unbeatable works, it's basically tries to be like This American Life in late night, and just like a late night package, and just like a little more excited and a little more fun. But yeah, I think Ira Glass has like an amazing talent when it comes to stories. He's able to get like the most amazing stories, but also the most like, or just like the most banal stories, but like he knows how to draw it out of people.
Nice.
So yeah, a lot of influences.
Stuff that I gotta look for. That's actually really cool. I have not had a chance to see the Amy Schumer one at all. I've heard about it, but I never had a chance to watch it.
Her show's great. I really enjoyed it. But here's the thing about how I consume TV. I don't really consume TV by watching like the entire episodes anymore. I just catch like clips here and there, and I think I bumped into like a couple Amy Schumer bits because like Mark Norman was there, and I just I think it was like his set on Fallon's show. I just got really obsessed because like it was just so funny, and I really enjoyed it. So I started digging my way into like, where else can I find him?
Awesome. When you how did it like at first when you found out about Johnny Martinez, like discovering, like how did it make you feel knowing that he was the creator, or did you like have much experience when it Masturbating Spider-Man came out?
Well, okay, so this is what happened. I met Johnny at an open mic here in LA, and we both had the same story. We are both software engineers from the Bay Area who moved down here to pursue stand-up comedy, and we both had a bit of that in our set. So like after the mic, we definitely like started talking to each other. And I asked about his process, he asked about my process, and my process, surprise, surprise, is all about like stories. I just told him like, you know, I feel like everyone has an interesting story to say, or like a funny story. It's just a matter of like building context. And I remember I was in Johnny's car, and I was kind of telling him like, don't you have any stories? And he's like, oh, I don't think I really have any stories, except like, do you know the masturbating Spider-Man meme? I go like, yeah, I do. Like, what? Like, why? And he said like, I'm the guy who invented it. And I go like, that's so rich. And this is the one thing I realized is that a lot of people have amazing stories, but for them it was just like a day-to-day thing. Like for Johnny, that meme story is just probably like another Tuesday or something. And at the end, I remember badgering him about it. I was like, hey man, you should really, that's an incredible story. Like, I don't know why you're not doing that in your set. That would be the only thing I do. That was my story. That's my entire comedy career right there.
Wow, that's actually pretty cool, man. I remember one time I was with my friends and we were I was gonna go stay at his house for the weekend, and we're driving out to the country, and he's like, I gotta let you know one of my cousins are over, and he's the one that was in Catch That Kid. He's Bates Motel?
Yeah.
Norman's brother.
Oh.
I can't think of his name right now, but I actually that night got to meet him in person, and it was in the middle of while they were butchering a deer.
Holy crap.
They just do hunting, and it's just like just standing there. I remember just being a kid, but it's just like, it's kind of nice to see like people that are high in fame or short in fame, depending on where they're at, and seeing them just being normal people.
Right.
Because you don't get to see a lot of that. But still, that was my kind of like highlight star moment right there.
Butchering a deer, my goodness.
Right? Just an off-topic question. What is a noise that bothers you the most in life? Like a noise. Could be like scratching on a blackboard, like nails, or...
I hate feedback, because I've done several jobs where like feedback was kind of the norm. I mean, not right now, like when I do stand-up and stuff, yeah, sometimes you hear feedback and I really, really hate it. Or like sometimes when we tape the show, like sometimes we hear feedback, because like we also use live mics, we have a live audience when we do the show. And I used to be a radio DJ, and I think that's where the trauma came from. Like, cause sometimes sometimes you'll mess your ears up, and you'll just mess yourself up by like hitting the wrong button or like not adjusting the levels properly, and like feedback would hit. Oh man, it hits like, for me it hits like a truck, and I absolutely hate that sound.
Yeah, like I work. I'm a part of a crew team at a Taco John's here in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what Taco John's is?
I'm assuming a taco place?
Yeah, it's like Taco Bell, but it's a bit different. It's not everywhere. But we have these headsets that are kind of old.
Oh no.
And if you get that right tick, it just screeches. And
I'm just imagining it.
So bad. We're supposed to be getting new ones next year, but I understand what you mean by feedback. I hate it.
It is the worst.
It's totally. But speaking of Johnny, are you still searching for any other stories to do for your series, or has he so far just been the only one that you've done?
Oh, so we do several things. So what Johnny started was Stories Unbeatable. We actually do a show called the Show Unbeatable. We have so far we've had a couple of guests who have been amazing. One of them was Gizmo Hayes. He's just this guy who moved to LA, and he's just like, he does everything, which is ridiculous. Like, he's a producer, he's an entrepreneur, he's a clothing designer, and like we interviewed him because he's also vice president of a medical marijuana company. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got to shoot like him hanging out at the store and stuff. It was really great, and he was an awesome person to interview. The second person we had on the show Unbeatable is Amanda Cohen. She's a professional she's a professional face painter. And she's been doing it for 20 years. So she had like the most amazing stories. So the story's Unbeatable. It's just me. It's like, I can't think of a better example, but it's like a Barbara Walters kind of style interview. It's just me and the guest. But we also do the Show Unbeatable, which is like the main thing the channel produces. And that is just me and a guest. It's me as the host, and I have a guest comedian. And this is all done in front of a live audience. Me and a guest comedian. And we interview like someone with like a really cool story, and we try to do something with them. As for like finding people, you'd be like, it's so surprising where you find them. Like, it's getting to the point where I'm getting a little cocky about it, because I just like, I don't think I'd have. It's because this is the city for it. This is a city of stories. For our next show, we're actually filming it next Monday. We have Kevin Cassidy, who's a pro wrestler in the indie scene. And he's wrestled like a lot of people from the WWE, and he has a lot of amazing stories. He's also an instructor, so there's that whole dimension to it too. Yeah, it's so funny because end of the day, everyone I meet knows someone who'd be perfect for the show. Like, cause like I feel just people just know people with great stories or do like really incredible things. I remember like telling one of my close friends here in LA, I told him about the show, and he said like, yeah, I just really don't know anybody. And I already told him like, you know what, in 1 week you're gonna come to me and say like, I know someone. And sure enough, a week and a half, not exactly 1 week, but a week and a half, he comes up to me and he says like, Carl, I know someone who was going to med school but quit to become a clown. And I'm like, yes, that's the best. That's an amazing story right there. You know, and so we have a lot planned for the channel. We have a lot of people, amazing people, and the roadmap. And yeah, it's really just a matter of like sitting down and being able to like schedule stuff and like film it.
Right. Yeah, I did get to watch, I think I clicked on the second episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and when I was listening to it, I heard that you guys got to 100 subscribers in under 5 months, man. That's awesome, man. That's a lot of goal that a lot of people try to strive for.
I know.
I got to it for one. It's
super crazy, and it's all because of my mom and my director Krish's parents. Like they went crazy. Because we kind of told them like, hey, we're trying to reach 100 subscribers and stuff. That's the goal of the channel. That's their main goal right now. And they took it to heart. Like they started texting relatives. Like I had a cousin who just who like messaged me saying like, hey, your mom called me. She's never called me before. Like, gave them the URL, like, okay, go and watch it, and be sure to click subscribe. So it's hilarious, because, like, I mean, we were growing at an okay pace. I think by day 2, we had about, like, 39 or something, and then our parents just went haywire, like, messaging their alumni homecoming groups, or like they went through the entire like Rolodex of relatives and stuff. It's hilarious, and just like that's just the Asian parent hustle.
Yeah, sorry, I meant 100, not 500. I think I said 500 on accident.
Oh man, that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's a goal that we all strive for. But I meant 100. Yeah, still, that's amazing to get that done in so quick of time. But still, that's awesome.
Sometimes you gotta go grassroots, man.
Yes. Speaking of being in front of people, at first were you ever like shy, like growing up being in front of people, being like in front of the camera, or have you always been like, I'm right over here?
I've always loved attention growing up, so like this is not too hard for me. I mean, and then like I've had some practice. I've definitely had some practice. Like I was a big theater kid, and then I became a radio DJ. So I got used to that. One thing I had to get used to is really like being in front of a camera is I thought it would be the same as being in front of an audience, but like hot damn, it is super different. If you watch the first episode of the show Unbeatable, like it is my first time talking to a camera or performing like comedy and stuff in front of a camera, and it looked like I wanted to die. It's just some, but yeah, it's definitely something you get used to, and I think I got used to it quick. I definitely did not look like I wanted to die in the second episode, so I'm very proud about that.
Yeah, man, yeah, I remember when I was first in front of the camera, it was just my friends and I just kind of doing our whole, like, messing around, filming YouTube kind of thing, but actually uploading it and then actually seeing it and everything, it just, yeah.
It's crazy.
But
I think it's just that massive cognitive dissonance. Like, you have this idea of what you look like, but you only see yourself like in a specific angle, like when you're in front of a mirror and stuff, that sort of thing. And then all of a sudden, like on camera, you're doing all this stuff, and then all of a sudden you look at the footage, you're like, what? I look like that?
yeah,
It throws me off. It threw me off like considerably.
Yeah, I think it was like we were doing something apocalyptic.
Oh,
It
man.
was like some like mercenary or something. I can't think of the word. Thief. And I'm in the kitchen stealing something. Then I steal the person's gun and I aim it at him. And I think while I'm recording it, I think I'm saying, "Where are your supplies?" But when we go back, I'm actually saying, "Where is your food?" or "Where are your food?" And it's just like, come on. But still, it's tough to be in front of the camera at first.
Yeah, thankfully, like, I feel like them just doing it constantly, you get used to it.
Right. And then, do you like to read at all? And if so, are there any books out there that have inspired you growing up?
Yeah, so back when I was like a teenager and stuff, I really enjoyed reading fiction. I think my favorite book of all time, fiction-wise, is The Unbearable Lightness of Being by Milan Kundera. It's the book that whenever people find out I'm not into Harry Potter, I always say it's because of this book. It's just such a beautiful book. I remember there were just paragraphs that would like make me like close the book and put it down and just like it just blew my mind. It just blew my teenage mind because I've never experienced anything like that. So when my friends started saying like, "Hey, you should read Harry Potter," I read it and I'm like, "What's this drivel? This is insulting me." So I never really got into it. But like, Unbearable Lightness of Being is definitely like it's such an amazing book, and yeah, I really recommend that. Nowadays, now that I'm older, I have a harder time reading fiction. I am much more into nonfiction stuff now. I think the most recent book that has really helped me is called The Ego is the Enemy. It's by Ryan Holiday, and it talks a lot. It's basically like a very high level look at stoicism, and also like, and it also, yes, it does talk about like how your ego could be like the one thing that's stopping you from doing a lot of amazing things. So it's two books actually by Ryan Holiday. It's Ego is the Enemy and The Obstacle is the Way. And it's really good for reframing your head, especially if you encounter a lot of challenges and stuff, or like if you're like me where a lot of my decisions have been very much egocentric. It's a really good way of like recalibrating your head to like look at things very differently.
Okay. Yeah, you're giving me some authors to look up. I never even heard of that first book. I really.
Oh, it's an amazing book. Oh my goodness, it's just so
I thought
well
Harry
written.
Potter was amazing, man. If I'm going to.
Oh man. I mean, end of the day, they're two very different things, but like, holy hell, the writing of Unbearable Lightness of Being, it just blew my mind.
Wow. Okay. Now, I got a few weird questions for you.
Fire away.
Strange, but if heaven exists, what would you like God to say to you at the pearly gates?
That's a really interesting question. I think the first thing I'd want is like, I'd want to hear like, you did okay. You did fine. Because I think my day-to-day is just a constant insecurity. It's like those constant insecurities of like, am I living my life well? Am I making good decisions? am I living like the most optimal way possible? And that's the ticket, is that like the whole like, am I living optimally? That's what throws me off so much, because I'm like, you know, sometimes like I want to relax and I watch TV and I feel super guilty for doing that, because like I could have been making myself better. I could have been like reading or something like that. So I think the one comfort I would get is that, like, the one thing I would want to hear is like, you did fine. You did. Don't worry. Like, just the idea that like you didn't need to min-max everything. You didn't need to optimize everything. Not everything had to be 100% efficient. Like, you lived your life just fine, my guy. That would be the one thing I would want to hear.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And then, I got a little fun one for you. What's your favorite swear word?
Oh, man.
Do you have one?
Yeah, I guess, like, it would be, it's like a compound, I guess it's a compound swear word. I love saying shit sticks. It sounds so stupid, but that's the thing. It's just that, like, it's a mix of, like, it sounds like a 10-year-old curse. And when you say, like, shit sticks, it sounds like a 10-year-old just cursed. So it's just, it's kind of, you're angry, but it sounds a little delightful, so it kind of, like, mitigates that.
Oh, man, you gave me something I'm probably going to use later tonight.
Shit sticks is great.
Gosh, I love it. Oh, man. Now, if you had a choice on of all your professions that you've done in life, or one that you've always thought would be your least favorite, which one would that be, like, your least favorite to perform, if you had a profession to choose?
So, out of everything I've done, out of all the jobs I've taken, like, which is my least favorite? Did I get the question right?
Like, what your job, like, would be your least favorite job that you've done, or that you think would be the worst to do, personally?
What was my least favorite job? Here's the thing, I kind of liked all my jobs for, like, different reasons. If I were to choose, like, if I were to choose the one that, like, I wouldn't want to ever do again, I was an online sales and marketing officer for a scuba diving resort. Now, several problems with this. Number one, I never scuba dived, and the moment they said, like, all right, we're gonna teach you, and I was getting my PADI certification, I remember going underwater for the first time and thought to myself, this is bullshit. I hate this. I'm deeply uncomfortable. And they're like, and I'm like, at the end of the day, I asked, like, so what's the goal of scuba diving? They're like, oh, you get to see all the marine life and stuff. I'm like, oh, so you fucking do this to see some fish? Fish are boring as shit. So it was hard, because it's like, then I had to market this. I had to market the resort. But, like, in my head, I'm just like, why are you guys wasting your money? Didn't see these fish in Discovery Channel or some shit. So I hated that. So, and then, like, it was hard too, because like, this was the time digital marketing is very, very new. And they basically thought, like, oh, he's young and he's kind of hip, which I kind of was. But it was like they were just entrusting me with all of this stuff, and all they knew about digital marketing, they just read articles and stuff. And I was there, like, and you know, like, rolling up my sleeves, just like, all right, how do we do this? How do we get more Twitter followers? How do we get this Facebook page up and running? Like, what kind of, like, website do we have to build? That sort of stuff. It was crazy, because, like, they gave me a lot of responsibility. They gave me a ton of responsibility, and I didn't know how to navigate it. Also, I was, like, super young at the time, so I didn't really have a lot of, like, the tools of experience at my disposal. So, I mean, it was a fun job. Yeah, it was a fun job. Like, end of the day, like, I would spend weeks at a scuba diving resort and just, like, hang out with the people in the resort town, and it was fun. It was fun, but definitely, like, I was definitely not qualified to do that, and also it was, like, a product that I did not enjoy.
Yeah, but still, there's some ups and downs with that. That's pretty nice. nice.
Yeah, totally. I don't think I totally regret anything, like, job-wise. I don't think I've had any... Yeah. I don't think I have one job that's like, oh, fucking hate that, I'll never do it again. And I consider myself super lucky.
Nice, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you have any pets?
You know, I don't. It's hard because, like, especially now. Now, I have the space. Like, I have my own apartment and stuff, and I do have the space to have a pet. And it's tough because, like, growing up as a kid, my grandmother loved pets. Like, our house was a freaking zoo. We had dogs, cats, birds, everything. And I just grew up with pets, and you know, when I started living on my own, like I had roommates and stuff, I could realize like oh man, it's gonna be tough. It's like a crazy responsibility, and that I have to sink I have to sink expenses into it. And now that like I actually can do it, it's also like, you know, I'm new to LA, I'm new to the city, and the last thing I need is like another like a living thing to be responsible for. Because it's tough, because it's like, oh, I have to go home early, or like I have to make sure I walk the dog, that sort of stuff. But like, so I don't have any pets. I really wish I had a roommate that had a pet.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be fun.
Exactly, all the fun, all the responsibility. Ooh, sorry, real quick. I have to re-record. Okay, there we go.
Alright. That's all good. And then, speaking of, the YouTube scene, is there one thing that you have gained so far from all of this? Like, that has either helped you from starting your own show and going out and doing these series with other people that you've been able to find? What is one thing you've been, like, gained from it?
It's really interesting because, like, this is my first endeavor into doing anything, like, remotely entrepreneurial, which is a weird thing to say about a YouTube channel. I'm learning a lot about myself, which I really like. I'm learning what kind of manager I would be if I ever managed people, so, like, that's really interesting. It's also great to, like, calibrate that now. Since it's, you know, since I'm doing my own thing, it's great to, like, figure that out, like, within my own, you know, within something that I completely own. It's really interesting because the thing about YouTube is that it makes you really concentrate on numbers, which is it's one of the reasons I wanted to get into like something creative was because I didn't want to obsess over numbers. I wanted to like just make something cool and see if it works and stuff. And the unfortunate thing about YouTube is that that's not how it works. It's very much like it's a numbers game, and it's making me, and it's good because then it's also learning to balance both. Like it's learning to balance both like a creative endeavor with also like, you know, trying to make it, I wouldn't say profitable, but basically but make it work. I think that's the best way to put it. It's a great way of learning how to balance that, and it's great training for that. It's also like I'm also learning. It's cool. Here's the thing about me is I love being a beginner. That's the reason I've worn a lot of hats throughout the years. I love being a beginner. I love learning from learning starting from scratch, tabula rasa, and like just learning. And that's what's cool about this. Is that like I set off to create a show. And I thought, oh, I'll just be the one in charge of like producing, and I'll be in charge of hosting and stuff. Because I had a specific vision, I've been learning a lot of cool things. Like I learned how to edit. I've been learning how to color grade. And I think that's super awesome. I love learning new skills. I love starting from scratch. And you know, starting this series was a great opportunity to do just that.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. Because I remember the one thing I have gained so far, other than knowledge and on edits and stuff from other people, is like the fact that people, for one, are enjoying the content, and for some people saying that it's made them laugh, or why haven't I played this? It's like, it really just makes me feel good, because that's the main reason why I've started doing my stuff, is to help other people smile in times of sadness and darkness that has plagued our world so far these last few years. Because everybody needs an escape from, well, reality once in a while.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree, and that's super awesome. I think that's one of the major reasons I got into stand-up comedy as well. Just like being able to turn like thought stuff into laughs, just like that alchemical. I've realized that I've only read that word and never said it, but like alchemical. But you know what I mean. Just the process of transmuting like thoughts into like just process of like transmuting thoughts into like laughter and applause. Like that's the main reason I got into comedy.
What is one thing that you have gained from starting? Sorry, that's the last one. Do you have any crazy stories growing up from childhood or from being in LA?
Childhood, I'd have to dig, but LA, off the bat, I can say that I have a friend who works at the Warner Brothers. Like he works at Warner Brothers, and one time he took me to the Warner Brothers lot. And here's the thing, I love the movie La La Land. I thought it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. And he was able to show me a couple of the sets from that movie, and it blew my mind. And that's how I knew, like, oh my god, LA's like a different town. Like this is where like the stuff I enjoy is made. It just blew my mind. It was like the set piece for the cafe. It was the set piece for the soundstage. And it was just so cool being there. And it was just like, I think that's when it hit me, like, wow, this is Los Angeles. This is Hollywood. This is LA. This is like where all my, like, a lot of that's when it really hit me that a lot of like the media I consume and a lot of stuff that I enjoy is made here. And that totally like changed the way I thought about my city.
Wow, man, that is crazy. I remember my mom was on a trip to Germany, and she had a friend when they were on tour at, I think, the studio that produced the Neverending Story.
Oh, wow.
The White Dragon.
Awesome.
And they were able to go behind the scenes and so this White Dragon with the green screen behind it.
Good old Falcor.
I was so jealous.
That's so cool.
I know, that's amazing though. That's awesome. That makes me want to go to LA even more.
You should, man. It's a great city.
All right, but so do you have any special talents that you don't show on screen? Like any hidden talents?
Hidden talents. No. Here's the thing about me. If I have a talent, I'm definitely gonna. It's just like. I'm definitely gonna showcase it. I'm not gonna let it go to waste. I'm really good at. I learned how to fold clothes like the Japanese way. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, it's basically a two-step thing. Like you just lay down the shirt. I'll send you a video of me doing it after the interview. But like, yeah, it's basically like you pinch.
Alright.
You like pinch the shirt in two spots, you fold it over, and you just pull it like that, and it's like you have a folded shirt, a folded t-shirt. Wow, and like I am so proud that I learned it, and I think it is literally the first skill I learned from a YouTube video. So I'm super proud of it. Yeah, I thought it was like because it's like why am I gonna do all these like again efficiency optimization? That's how my brain kind of works. So.
That's awesome. But do you follow any personal charities? Like, for example, like the Ronald McDonald House is one that I follow. Do you happen to have any charities that you follow in LA?
Yeah, I follow the Trevor Project. I think it is a charity that is very near and dear to me. It's for LGBT. It's basically an anti-bullying organization for LGBT youth. It provides them a safe space for people to call if they're in distress, and I think it's I personally think it's very, very important. As someone who grew up as like an LGBT kid, I wish I had that resource. It would have definitely like helped me a lot, and like knowing that kids now have the ability to do that, to like just hop on a website to chat with someone, or like call them, or like have events catered to them, to tell them that like, yes, it does, you know. I think the main message is that it does get better, and I think that message is slowly morphing to like, it is better. And so yeah, that charity is very near and dear to my heart.
That sounds like an awesome organization. That's incredible. Wow, man, I wish I knew about one like that up where I'm at. I don't know anyone like that here. That's really neat.
You'd be surprised. Like, there's a lot of like, I'm sure you have like a local, you know, there's probably like a local LGBT community center in your area, and they do help with help a lot with like a lot of common problems LGBT youth face. Whether it's like whether it can be as simple as just like finding, you know, people like them, you know, people with the same experiences. That can also, like, I know a lot of centers help you know, LGBT youth, because like sometimes, you know, their stories are not as great, or their stories end up with them getting, you know, banished from their house, with parents who just really don't understand the whole situation. So they provide safe haven for them. So there's a lot. I'd say like check like the local Minnesota LGBT charities. I'm sure there's something. I'm sure you know about Charity Navigator and all these websites. So I'm pretty sure you'd be able to find something. Ronald McDonald House, actually very interesting, because I grew up in the Philippines, and I remember attending a couple Ronald McDonald House events, because I think my mom and my aunt were very active in them. I'm super glad to know that it's a thing here in the U.S., and two, it's still going strong.
Oh yeah, great group of people they are. So amazing. But that's awesome. I'll look into that a little bit more, and look at Charity Navigator for that. But do you may I ask, are you currently dating, or are you seeing someone?
Ooh, why are you asking? Depends. Why are you asking, Jared? Right now, you're married, aren't you? In all seriousness, right now I am dating. I don't think I've met anyone serious just yet. Again, I'm very new to the city. I'm very new to the dating scene here. But I'll be honest, one of the major reasons I moved to LA was because like I do a lot better in like apps down here, like Tinder, OkCupid, all this stuff. I do a lot better down, because I used to visit a lot, and I've noticed that I got a lot more matches here than like up in San Francisco. So it's been great. Like, I've been meeting a lot more people, and it's cool. It's pretty cool, like moving to a new city and then dating people there, and just realizing how different it is from like the city you came from. So that's my status currently on the apps.
That is awesome. And then I would like to ask you, I don't have many other questions left other than, is there anyone that you want to thank for where you're at today?
Who do I want to thank? Oh, I want to thank my team. So my channel is not a solo endeavor by any means. I have an awesome team behind me, called the Team Unbeatable. So I'd like to thank them off the bat. I have Krish, my director, who answers all my very stupid film-related questions. Who helps me, and I'm like, there's this thing I want, blah, blah, blah. Like, I basically describe nonsense, and he's able to translate it into, like, how we, like, to filmography terms, or, like, cinematic terms and stuff. So that's super great. I want to thank Vita. She's my director of photography, and she is super gung-ho. She is always willing to lend a hand, and it's really cool because like she also has a lot of initiative, a lot of creative initiative. So, and that helps me, and that helps like free up a lot of my time. It's cool. She's amazing, and it's great because like I literally met her in line for a comedy show, and we just got to chatting and stuff. And then I think a few weeks later, she invited me to my birthday, and I told her the pitch. I basically pitched her the show, and she's like, "I'm in." So, yeah. So thanks to her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we actually have a couple new members of Team Unbeatable. Joy, she is gonna be our production manager. She's basically gonna be our Jill of all trades, I should say. It's super great. It's so funny because like she just invited me to brunch one time, and we were just hanging out talking, and she said like, "Hey, I want to be part of Team Unbeatable." I'm like, "What?" I got goosebumps when she said that, so I'm like, "Hell yeah, you're in!" Like, that's when I realized, wait, what do you want to do? So thank you so much to her. She's been like the biggest cheerleader so far. We're gonna be doing our first remote with her this Thursday, so I'm very excited for that. And I want to thank Megan. Megan is someone I met at a sketch writing class over at UCB, Upstanding Citizens Brigade. Upright Citizens Brigade. I always mess that up. Upright Citizens Brigade, which is like a comedy troupe down here in LA. I want to thank her because she, again, I was telling the story about Joy, and like, it's so weird, blah, blah. She just wanted to be part of the show. And then Megan's like, I want to be part of the show. I'm like, all right. So she's helping me with writing. It's great. Again, this is like, the channel is a team effort, and I really, really try my best to make sure, my name's on there, but I really, like, none of this is possible without them. So I definitely want to thank them.
Well, that is very awesome to hear, and I would like to thank them because your guys' content is actually really, really nice, and I can see it growing even farther.
Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoy it.
You are very welcome. You're very welcome. Well, before I actually end this interview, is there anything you would like to add or anything that you would like to ask? Anything at all?
Well, okay. So I figure you're only asking that question because there's a specific question you want to be asked. So what is the question you want to be asked with regards to this question? What's the question you want someone to ask you?
I'm not catching on.
Well, okay. So I feel like
I'm not catching on.
How do I put this? Like, so if I know that when people ask like, "Hey, do you want to ask me any questions?" Usually there's like one or two questions they have in mind that they want to be asked. Unless you're doing unless you're the outlier here and you actually have no questions in mind.
Yeah, I don't have anything on my personally that I would want you to ask me. I honestly can't think of anything.
Okay, so I guess this is my question. If we were to interview you for the Stories Unbeatable, what story do you think you'd tell us?
That is not what I thought I was going to ask you. That is not what I was going to ask you. I was not prepared for that. I am not entirely sure.
Well, here's the thing, Jarrett. Here's the thing. Off the bat, like, without thinking hard about it, what is your favorite story to tell? Like, meeting new people, let's say like you're meeting a group of people for the first time and you're really getting into it, you're really getting to know them and stuff. Like, what's that one story you like telling people? What's that one story that you feel like lighter telling, or like you feel your eyes start to like have a specific kind of shine once you start telling it? The first one that comes to your mind.
I would have to say, that would have to be when I came up here, or before I met my wife, who I have been married with since February 21st.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Before I met her, I was in a very dark place, and when I met her, a lot of my life changed throughout the years before we actually got together. And the one thing that I could say is that she's the one that actually showed me that you can record yourself doing what you love by showing me YouTube videos like her favorite Markiplier and a few other ones. And it's like, I can really be passionate about helping people like she helped me get out of that dark, empty space that we all hit at least once or twice in our life, and maybe I can help others think a lot more clearly. And she's really the reason why I am doing what I am doing, because she helped me in a time where I needed it most. Even when we struggled, even with me struggling, she's the one that helped me out most.
Jarrett, what a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing that.
You're very welcome. And I appreciate you asking. I was not expected to be asked anything, to be honest with you. That threw me off, like, a lot.
It kind of does. Whenever I ask people that question, it always throws them off, but I always get the most amazing stories.
Well, good. I'm glad you asked. But, I appreciate you coming up onto my series, and
of course, this was so much fun.
I know. I loved getting to know you and everything, and to celebrate this for the next, until I find someone new to do, until I find somebody new to interview, I plan on wanting to put your logo on a shirt on my merch store.
What?
And have all the profits made from that shirt be sent to you to help out with your show.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Thanks, man.
Anytime. I've been thinking about what I wanted to do for a while, and I was either going to send you a picture of a little honey pot that you can put somewhere, but I feel like putting somebody's logo on a shirt and having it available for like a month or two, or until I can find somebody new, and then let you know ahead of time that why not have something you could actually wear, or they have phone cases too now, so even a phone case, and have all that money go straight to you guys.
That would be super dope. In fact, you know what I'm gonna do? How about this? All the money we earn from the shirt, I will write a check. I will match it. I will personally match it, and I will write that check out to the Trevor Project down here in Los Angeles.
That is incredible. That actually makes me smile so much. Wow, that is awesome. That's awesome. Well, let's say I will make sure to get to you when those shirts will be ready. It'll either be ready tonight or they'll be ready tomorrow. I will make sure to definitely let you know.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. And for people that are watching, please don't forget to check out his show. I'll make sure to put a link down to his show down below, his channel, and then I'll make sure to put a link down to his charity as well, so you guys can also donate to the Trevor Project as well. And the merch store once I get the shirts up and running, and that will be up on my Facebook page, which you guys can also find down below, along with any of our other social pages as well. But this is TorgyBear58, and again, I'd like to thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Toodles.
I'm glad you guys stayed after for the video. There's something that is going to be really, you guys saw probably in the video, that the shirts I'm going to be making, which I will post an image of them right here. There's going to be 3 different kinds. There's going to be just a long sleeve t-shirt, a normal t-shirt, and a shirt for any like kids or toddlers. And all the money that is made from the shirts, you heard him right, he's gonna match it with a check and donate it to the charity, the Trevor Project. Which you guys listened throughout the video is a national organization that helps out the young LGBTQ community, which is like helps with like suicide prevention and stuff like that. You call the number, which for anybody that is watching, I will place in the video right here, like right down below. You guys will see, and I'll post a link in the card. I'll try to up here, but please help raise money for this. I'm kind of there's some light, haha. But please donate some money to this amazing cause and help spread awareness that depression affects everybody, including those of the LGBT. Sorry if I'm butchering that, but any lesbian, bisexual, transgen, gender fluid, all those people, any of them that are really young, that go through all the stress of either not telling anybody, keeping it from their friends, or just being bullied. If you guys need somebody to contact or talk to, I encourage you to please click the website down below, check in the description, or to go follow the link right here in the video. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'll probably just put it down here, and I'll put it in the description. I'll even leave their number too, including near the end of this, so you can contact them. And hey, you guys, I would like you guys to meet the family farm cat. Tigger. Tigger, come here. Come here. Come here. There you are. How you doing, girl? How you doing? This is the farm cat. Takes care of all the little mice. Coming for a little walk? No. Oh, you gonna follow me a little bit from a distance? Okay. But yeah, please go check out the description down below for all that information, and please go support the charity. It is just phenomenal on what they do and everything. I would even volunteer for it if I had the time. I already got so much stuff planned and laid out. But I would like to say, if you guys didn't check out my Facebook, I'm done. The person I'm game sharing with, I'll have to see if it still works, but I had to switch who I was for the Xbox. That's how I do my videos. So I believe I can no longer do BioShock right now. So I'm sorry. There is a BioShock episode coming to you guys, don't worry. But after that, I won't be able to go back to it. Not until I get the game myself. So I'll be able to do something new. I'll have to figure it out and decide on everything, and I'll let you guys know. I might go back to Zelda right now. I might wait a little bit, do retro starting next year, because it's coming up to be about a year on my channel. And then, so I'm going to be doing something fun with that. And also, I'm at 73 subscribers right now, which is amazing. Thank you guys so much. I would like to say that once I hit 75, I will be doing a challenge with a shock collar. Now, there's some plans and stuff like that that are happening that I'll have to go over with, but we will have to see what happens. Anyway, dinner's almost done. I am pretty excited about it. I gotta go. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video, and please, for those of you who are watching who have been bullied because of who you are, please give this number a call down below and talk to them. They are, from what I've read, they are amazing people. And from what Carl has told me, even more amazing. Alright, please go support them. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Torque Bear 58. Toodles, poodles.